Hi, everybody. I'm Coach Tiffany, and I help people heal their relationship with food and their body so they can finally have peace and ease and joy in their relationship with food. All right. And so today we're going to talk about why are you delaying? This came up recently with a client who it was a yes for her across the board, but um, she decided that she wanted to hold off. And we had a little more conversation about it and realized that there were um, some extenuating circumstances, but it really brought up this idea of holding off on starting intuitive eating. I find that people tend to think of it like it's starting a diet. So I'm going to start on Monday. I'll start after my vacation. I'll start after the holidays. I'll start when I'm not so busy, when I'm done with school, when my kids are older, right? All of these kind of things that are related to external life circumstances. Again, we want to honor when we have extenuating circumstances and when our focus and attention needs to be somewhere else. If you are in the middle of moving, it may not be the best time, although I have had clients work with me during times where they were moving. If you are maybe getting like a doctorate or something along those lines, maybe not. Intuitive eating, learning to become more in tune with your body, heal your relationship with food in your body, develop intuitive eating skills, work on a more secure attachment relationship style with yourself, with food, with your body. These things do take some focus. There is a big learning curve. It does take some attention, but it is nothing like starting a diet. There isn't like a list of foods that you have to run out and buy. There isn't like foods you need to get rid of. There isn't specific exercises that you need to do every day. I actually typically don't assign any homework even. There isn't a bunch of hoops to jump through like there is with a diet. And actually, intuitive eating works better. Building a secure attachment with ourselves and a secure relationship with ourselves is even better when it's done in the nooks and crannies, when it's done during our real life. So if you have young children, you're going to have young children for quite some time. If you, have an intense job, that actually could be a big part of the patterns that are creating, behaviors and things around food and your relationship with your body that aren't ideal, right? And so it's when you're in those things that you actually need the support and that you can really benefit from examining the patterns of your life and what's contributing to maybe disordered eating or eating in a way that doesn't feel aligned or supportive to you, doesn't feel nurturing. So it's actually ideal to do it during the holidays, for example, while you're on a vacation. It's not something that is similar to diets and like that. You're not going to be restricting. You're not going to be counting things. You're going to be actually learning how to tune into your body and see what's happening for your body. So a time like when you're on vacation is awesome because a lot of times you have more flexibility and you may be more relaxed and happier. um, During the holidays, it's a great time because there's a lot of situations that come up that are unique to that time where food is really a big piece of the celebration, or maybe you're seeing judgy family members, or times where you're stressed and busy, especially if you're someone who finds that you are having eating patterns around like, being stressed and using food to soothe. It actually can be a really great time to look at what's underlying that, what's contributing to that pattern. So it's ideal to do it right now in your everyday life. And it doesn't require, a big amount of time investment. It is much more about intention, focus, and many of us are spending, so much mental and emotional energy, food in our bodies that actually it's just shifting some of that energy into into learning these new skills and these new tools. So you're already thinking about it. I had some clients who took my food attachment quiz or food attachment style quiz, and they actually said that previous to working with me, they were thinking about food and body like about 80% of the time. And then after working together for 6 months, it was more like 20%. And so they were actually able, in the process of working together, to free up a lot of mental and emotional energy and do other things with that. One client started a business and has been wildly successful. And that's been so cool to see someone actually go from, investing their energy and trying to control or manage food in their body to putting that energy into a business that they're passionate about and that they love. So, what are some of the reasons that you might be delaying? One, the busyness factor that we just talked about, feeling like you need to wait until Monday to get started. One actually might be thinking that you need to lose weight first. So this was something a client recently brought up, was thinking like, oh, I need to get down to a certain size and then I'll do intuitive eating. Then I'll feel my relationship. Like I'm going to do these kind of behaviors and patterns and dieting in a way that feels unhealthy. And that was their word, in unhealthy ways, lose weight in unhealthy ways. And then I'll heal my relationship with food in my body. Well, the problem with that plan is that if you use restriction to lose weight, which just about, I can't think of a diet plan that isn't using restriction. Either you're restricting the hours that you can eat, you're restricting the types of foods you can eat, you're restricting calories or carbs or macros in some way. So every weight loss plan I've seen uses restriction on some level. That restriction then leads, even though you may lose weight, it actually leads to a decrease in metabolism, a decrease in muscle mass. So you're not able to burn the same number of calories. It slows everything down so that those calories will kind of like last longer. And then also it actually increases your hunger signals, your preoccupation and your desire for food, and it decreases your fullness signals. So when you do eat, you tend to eat beyond fullness. So you're actually setting yourself up for a much bigger pendulum swing. So when we start with an extreme restriction to attempt to lose weight, then when you go through the refeeding, kind of learning to eat normatively, you're gonna have this huge pendulum swing and have this like really increased appetite and desire for food. And then you're not going to be able to actually metabolize it at the same level that you used to be able to. So you're very likely to have this rapid weight gain along with this pendulum swing and eating in a way that kind of fulfills that increased desire. So you're kind of setting yourself up for this big pendulum swing. And when that happens, a lot of times if people gain weight and they eat in a way that feels out of control, then they're going to be concerned that it's not working or something along those lines and tend to want to go back to dieting. And so it's actually better to start now wherever you're at than to try to lose weight first. And that weight loss is not likely to be sustained. And I'm curious to know, has any weight loss, intentional weight loss that you've tried, been sustained for 5 years? If not, even if you didn't try to switch into intuitive eating, it's not likely going to work. And the research shows that that's true 85 to 95% of the time, that people are not able to sustain intentional weight loss. So that doesn't work. The other issue with trying to lose weight first is we're still tying, still elevating thinness, right? And by disregarding our body signals and dieting and ignoring ourselves, we're starting off with an attachment rupture with ourselves to begin with, which is why, we're struggling with food, which is why we're struggling with body image. And so you're actually deepening that rupture or furthering that rupture. So we're gonna have even more work to do to come to a place of healing with food, with our body, healing that attachment rupture. So that actually doesn't work. And just doing a quick survey of your past dieting and weight loss attempt history will tell you whether that's worked for you or not. Likely 95% of the time, not. All right. So the other reason that you might be delaying is that we tend to be scared that we're going to gain weight. We're scared that we're going to eat everything in sight. We're scared that intuitive eating just means like disregarding your health. And it's not the case. So again, sometimes people go through kind of a refeeding phase where their body is trying to trust that there is enough, that we're not in an actual famine mode. And that, we're having that increased desire. And so we're wanting all of the foods that have been like off limits. And often when you've been restricting and foods have been off limits, it actually makes them more appealing when you do eat them. So it's really normal to eat them in a way that feels out of control. This can be part of the process, but there is a way, in getting support and developing more body attunement to not have quite such an extreme pendulum swing there. There's a way to kind of go slow and steady. And again, this is just a part of the process. And so by getting support, not only are you going to have more ease in that and not quite such an extreme shift in behavior, but you're also going to ensure that you're going to move past that phase to a phase where you're in that more securely attached relationship with food in your body, where you're in a relationship with food, you are attuned to your body, you are actually eating in a way that feels nurturing. And that might look like soothing using food sometimes, but it's also going to look like eating foods that are, nourishing and feel good and bring you vitality. And we're going to have more ease and balance here. So I would recommend, if you have those fears, to seek support from someone who has personally experienced this, from someone who has the training and the knowledge and who has supported clients through this, because, and potentially in a community of people that have had that experience as well, so that you've got people reassuring you while you're in that phase, right? The other piece about gaining weight, sometimes with intuitive eating, people do gain weight. Sometimes their bodies stay the same. Sometimes they lose weight. But actually, weight cycling is really hard on your body and really harmful for your health. And typically, people will come to a place of kind of settling out at maybe what you've heard of is called like a set point. And so knowing that your body is likely doing whatever it needs to do to get through this pendulum swing, all of these shifts from experiencing basically, self-imposed famines over and over and over, your body is wise and doing what it needs to do. And ultimately you'll come to a point where things are stable and settled. And that's actually much better for your health than going up and down, even if you're at a higher weight than you'd like to be. And dieting's not going anywhere. So I would say it's worth healing your relationship with food, healing your relationship with your body, really looking at what are the underlying issues here and healing all of those, rather than kind of perpetually doing that cycle. One of the things that can be really helpful is to ask yourself, what has dieting, restricting, trying to control, manage, contort my body, what has that cost me? And do I want to continue to pay that price? I think you'd be surprised to find how much it really costs you, the heaviness, the weight of that, the mental and emotional energy that you're putting into it, all of the pain and suffering, shame, all of that, and decide whether you want to keep doing that for another week, year, 5 years, decades. Most of the people I talk to have been stuck in that cycle for decades. So really ask yourself, what is this costing me? And do I want to keep doing that? Or do I want to find a different way? Do I want to actually heal? All right, I hope this was helpful. And I am happy to answer questions. Feel free to email me at tiffany@coachtiffanyrn.com or check out my online quiz. And that is at coachtiffanyrn.com/quiz. Right, take care.